All right, this is a little different. We're talking about footlocks, leg bars. Footlocks there are pros and cons, and we'll talk about that at the end of this tape. The thing we have to be careful with footlocks is the damage we're doing on most footlock, well, on this footlock, is we're flexing the metatarsals, these small fine bones in the foot. So we've got to be very careful about that. Unlike a shoulder lock or an elbow armbar, where maybe I put an armbar on my partner, David's got time to lift up his shoulder, and that allows him time to tap. Quite often on footlocks, there's not a lot of time for that. Once he feels the pain, he's in fact probably being injured. So we've got to be extremely careful with footlocks. In fact, I mean, in some different sporting applications of grappling, rotational knee locks and certain kinds of footlocks are disallowed, as in judo and various other styles. So we do have to practice extreme caution. With this particular footlock here, first thing I'm doing is I need to get this foot snug up under my armpit. Snug. This is too loose and would maybe still get the tap because of the pressure I'm placing on the Achilles tendon. But that's only pain. It's not going to cause any permanent damage or disable my partner. What I need to do is get these metatarsals, that foot, in a state of full plantar flexion in this direction, and I lock it way in under my armpit, okay? And my hand actually just comes in and snugs around the bottom of that heel. Now it's that arching that's going to bring the footlock into place. At the moment though, see what David's doing? I'm arching, and he can take that because he moves away from it. That's where my legs come in. How to get this leg there? If I just grab here, I get what I get. If I pump it with my left hand up in there, I usually can get a much more snug grip. So I do that. Now, what I also like to do, because knowing that he understands how to counter this, if I just rock back, David can come up and mount on top of me and come around this way, and that's a simple counter to a footlock. If someone's applying it, he really doesn't know what they're doing. So what I need to do is turn his hips the other way. I pump this under, catch it. Left hand drives his knee down. This is turning him the other direction. Also, if that leg's free and I start to go into a footlock, he can kick out of that like this. So I need to get this leg out of the equation. So it's slap and catch. Push that down, takes his leg out of the equation and allows me room to move and turns his hips the opposite way than what he needs to have them to escape. My left foot comes in behind his butt. I fall down and bring this foot over. That stops David coming up. So now he can't get up. Knees are squeezing, much like an armbar. Then we roll all the way onto our left side and tuck my elbow under my body. Now he can never get that foot out once it's tucked under my body. Now it's just a matter of locking my hands together like a front choke, and I arch my body back. So it's my arching that actually brings his foot into a state of plantar flexion. And again, slap and catch. Eliminate the other leg. Step, turn on my left hip, which gives me a fast action to bring this foot over. This way, clamp. That stops him coming up. Turn again on my right hip, tuck my elbow under, start working backward. One last time.